Now, an inquest jury in Bedfordshire has concluded that a woman with dementia who was beaten to death by another resident at her care home should have been better protected.
88-year-old Sheila Hartman was attacked at Ridgeway Lodge near Dunstable in October 2022. The company which runs the home says it's increased staffing and made significant changes. Our social affairs editor Alison Holt has been talking to Ms Hartman's son.
This was 1982 when they walked the southwest peninsula.
These are cherished memories for Richard Urridge as he shows me the old photos of his mother, Sheila Hartman, on a walking holiday with his dad.
Seeing people who are remarkably happy before any mention of dementia, of old age, of the need for care homes.
Mrs Hartman spent her last few years here at Ridgeway Lodge care home in Bedfordshire. She was blind and had dementia. In October 2022, the 88-year-old was attacked by another resident. She died a few hours later.
She looked like she'd gone, 10 rounds with a heavyweight boxer, frankly. She was battered and bruised. That's the only way of putting it.
The inquest was told Mrs Hartman was beaten with a walking stick by 92-year-old Eunice Clark, who also had dementia.
She entered my mother's room. Perhaps she thought my mother was an intruder in her own home. That's a consistent theme, that Eunice wasn't settling at the home and thought that it was her own home and that all of the other residents were somehow intruders.
Staff handover notes showed Mrs Clark's dementia led to aggression and agitation, including trying to hit a staff member. The inquest found the home failed to assess, monitor or update her care. On the night of the attack, there were just 2 staff looking after more than 30 residents on the dementia unit, and they were providing personal care to a resident elsewhere. Ridgeway Lodge is run by HC1, one of the UK's largest care home providers. It says it is committed to learning from this terrible and tragic incident, that it's made improvements, increased staff numbers, and will take on board the findings of the inquest. Eunice Clark died some months after the attack. In a statement, her daughter says, "It may have been my mum's body who carried out this horrendous incident, but that was not my mum." Describing Mrs Clark as kind and loving, she continues, "The only thing for which I'm grateful is that my mum died never knowing that she had taken the life of another person." During the inquest, the 2 families supported each other, welcoming the jury's findings that there were failings in the women's care.
We are, in a sense, both victims in a slightly different way of the awful disease of dementia, and also, in this particular case, victims of, frankly, very, very substandard care, which has been exposed multiple times over the last week of this hearing.
And after Sheila's tragic death, the legacy they want is to see care improve for others in future. Alison Holt, BBC News, Bedfordshire.